So this was the nomenclature of the dural venous sinuses, which is present in pairs, some are unpaired. Now what is the characteristic, what is the pattern, characteristic feature of these dural venous sinuses which make it typical of cranial cavity? What is the characteristic features of these dural venous sinuses?
Endothelial lining.
Yes, of course, anywhere the blood is lined by endothelium to protect the blood clotting. What else? The main important characteristic feature of the dural valveless. Very good. It is very, very important. It is valveless. Anywhere in the body there are presence of valves in the veins. Okay, but here inside the cranial cavity, these dural venous sinuses, they lack what? There is no valve inside that. Plus, additional what is there? Look here, there is the scalp over here. Okay, so scalp, there are the external veins over the scalps which communicate with the cranial cavity, isn't it? So, or the external aspect, the face is there, and through the facial veins or the other facial veins of the external aspect, they also communicate with these dural venous sinuses. How? These dural venous sinuses are connected through the external veins via the emissary veins. What do you mean by emissary veins?
Veins without wall.
इसमें short notes आता है. Emissary veins. What do you mean by emissary veins? And what is the purpose of this presence of these emissary veins here? So that the venous channel which is present inside the cranial cavity, it is also communicating externally via this. That means there should be the presence of foramen, isn't it? So there should be the foramen through which these veins passes and connects the two sets of bone, external with the internal set, that is the dural venous sinuses. So this is the emissary vein which will pass through some foramen which is present in the cranial cavity. Now another one is diploic vein. What do you mean by diploic vein?
Present in the skull bone.
Very good. Present in the
outer and inner table.
where? Pardon, where it is present?
Outer and inner table.
Yes, very good.
Outer and inner table.
Outer, yes, very good. Dekho, this is the occipital bone. Look here. There is some thickness over here. The outer aspect and the inner aspect. This is known as the outer table and this is the inner table. And the outer and the inner table of the skull bones, it is what? Compact bone. And in between there is spongy bones, isn't it? So this is spongy bone. There is the running channels, venous channel, which is known as diploid. This spongy tissue, they are known as diploid. And the venous channel which is draining here, that is known as the diploic vein. Which will drain where? Diploic vein in the sinuses, dural venous sinuses. Where it will go? यहाँ का जो venous blood है वो कहाँ जाएगा? Again, this diploic vein, it also goes to these dural venous sinuses where the lacunae are present and especially in the superior sagittal sinus, isn't it? So diploic vein में there are 4 sets of veins and there is temporal, posterior temporal, the frontal as well as the occipital. Okay, the nearest dural venous sinuses, they drain there. Now, emissary veins and diploic vein, it is clear. What is the difference between the emissary vein and the diploic vein? Emissary vein communicates through and through, internal and external. But this diploic vein, it is in between the outer and the inner table of this skull bones. So it will not traverse through the outer table, isn't it? And there is no need of the foramen here. That is the basic difference, emissary vein and diploic vein. Now, so the characteristic feature was the presence of valveless, this venous channel, it is valveless. There is lack of the muscular, there is no muscular layer in this venous. What else? This dural venous sinuses, what it does in the cranial cavity? What is the special function of that? Have you heard the name of cerebrospinal fluid? CSF. Cerebrospinal fluid. Yes, it is clear. The CSF, where it is formed, in the coming classes we will discuss it. The cerebrospinal fluid and how it drains in the dural venous sinus, especially the superior sagittal sinus, isn't it? So in the subarachnoid space there is formation of the cerebrospinal fluid, and this is cerebrospinal fluid via arachnoid granulations, isn't it? Look here, there is a fold of the dura mater. Okay, this is the fold of the dura mater. Again there is the arachnoid mater, and this arachnoid mater, here there is suppose, and there is some villi. This is the subarachnoid space. This is the dura mater subdural space, and this is the arachnoid mater, and this is the subarachnoid space. And in this subarachnoid space there is the CSF formation, and this CSF the flow of the CSF, it is not only confined in the subarach, it has to drain where? In the venous sinuses, especially in the, this is the coronal section of the superior sagittal sinus. So this globular pattern, what is this? This is arachnoid granulations. It is made up of what? Which structure? Which layer of the meninges? Very good. That is arachnoid matter. What does it form? It goes with the this arachnoid granulations. It was previously in the form of villus, finger-like structure. But as the age advances, it becomes globular in shape, multiple head, and it becomes globular in shape, and it is known as the arachnoid granulation now. This is known as the arachnoid villi. Okay. So in this, there is a slit pore in the dura mater, and through that pore, the arachnoid granulation dips into the superior sagittal sinus, and there is a canaliculi here also, through which the cerebrospinal fluid will move towards from the subarachnoid space into the sinus. That is the superior sagittal sinus. Suppose in any condition, suppose if there is thrombosis of this, embolus impaction is there, then what it will lead to? सब फ्लो रुक जाएगा, रुकेगा कि नहीं? All the drainage system will be choked here, and what ultimately happens? The intracranial pressure inside the cranial cavity will increase. Later we will discuss in detail, but it was only, suppose this is the subarachnoid space, and through this villus pattern or the globular pattern, the CSF drains in the superior sagittal sinus. This was only about the characteristic feature of this dural venous, one of the characteristic feature. Now, detail in the cavernous sinus today. What do you mean by cavernous sinus? Where it is present. It is the asset of the dural venous sinus. ऐसे समझिए, सबसे बड़ा and सबसे important part है dural venous sinus का, that is the cavernous sinus. What do you mean by cavernous? Anyone? And why it is very important?
Network type.
It is spongy, network type का. क्यों है network type का? Why it is like that? And this cavernous sinus, which is present in the middle cranial fossa, first where it is present. It is a paired sinuses. Just now we have discussed. It is a paired sinuses. It is present in the middle cranial fossa. Okay, look here. It is present in the middle cranial fossa, where at the junction of the body with the greater wing of the sphenoid. This is the body and this is the greater wing of the sphenoid. Uske junction par there is a elongated structure 2 cm long here. This one, this is the site where the cavernous sinus is situated. So this cavernous sinus has got its importance. It is spongy in appearance because it has got so many incoming channels, it has got draining channels, it has got large number of communications, the veins which communicate externally with the help of the emissary veins which runs through the foramen present in the base of the skull. Clear hai? So this cavernous sinus, it is very important. It has got so many relations. This cavernous sinus, it has got external relation also, it has got internal relation also. Okay? So it is very important. Now, the cavernous sinus, first of all, where it is situated? It is situated where? In the floor of the middle cranial fossa, in between the Yes, in the very good, in the middle cranial fossa where? कहाँ पर अभी बता? At the junction of the body and the yes, very good. The body of the sphenoid and the greater wing of the sphenoid. यहाँ के junction पर elongated canal set में that where the cavernous sinus is situated. What is the dimension of this cavernous sinus? It is 2 cm long and 1 cm wide. Isn't it? 2 cm long and 1 cm it is wide. Isn't it? Now, you get cavernous sinus where it is situated. Then comes the formation of cavernous sinus. Okay, cavernous sinus. Cavernous sinus, it is situated in the middle cranial fossa. Then what will be the pattern of the meningeal layer here? Ultimately, it is one of the dural venous sinus, as all of you know. Then what would be the pattern of the meningeal layer here, which is going to form the cavernous sinus? क्या होगा? Anyone?
Then between the two layers of the meningeal, endosteal and meningeal.
Just see the diagram here. Don't get worried about that. See the diagram. I am making the coronal section here. Okay? Coronal section बना रहे हैं आप देखिए नजर. This is what I have made. This is the body of the sphenoid and this is the sphenoidal air sinus. Sphenoidal air sinus. And this is the sella turcica I have drawn here, where the pituitary gland will sit. Okay, this is the pituitary gland, that is the master gland of our body is situated. All of you know that. So this is the sphenoidal air sinus, body of the sphenoid, and above that there is a pituitary gland. Now, we are discussing how the cavernous sinus will form and what are the contents of the cavernous sinus, isn't it? So, this is the bony part, this line, this is the bony part here, and this bony part, it is covered by which layer? Endosteal. Very good, endosteal layer, okay? Now, in the middle cranial fossa, what happens? In the middle cranial fossa, what happens? The meningeal layer of the dura mater, it will split here. It will split here, and what it will do? It will form the lateral wall. It will form the roof of what? The coming cavernous sinus that I will draw here. उसका ये boundary बना ले. This meningeal layer, which ascends upwards here in the middle cranial fossa, it forms the lateral wall, the roof, okay, both the sides, isn't it? So this layer, it is the meningeal layer and this is the endosteal layer. So the floor of the cavernous sinus, you imagine it is formed by what? It will be formed by the endosteal layer. Very good. And a very important thing here, there is a presence of which nerve it is present, I will discuss later. Here a nerve is present. Okay. Now, here there is the infundibula, and we have discussed in the previous class that the fourth fold of dura mater, what is that? Diaphragma celli. Hana? Diaphragma celli, which is a quadrilateral fold of the dura mater, which is covering the sella turcica. याद आया? The diaphragma celli. So this fold of the dura mater, it is continuous with the diaphragma celli above. So there is only the aperture over the diaphragma celli for the passage of this infundibular stalk here. This is the infundibular stalk of the pituitary gland. So suppose here up to here, it is the part of the cavernous sinus, this one, roof of the cavernous sinus, which is in continuation with this diaphragma celli. Isn't it? Because that is also one of the fold of the dura mater. Now, blue chalk है.